Forged federal identification cards, such as Social Security cards and green cards, or actually permanent lawful resident cards, pose a serious threat to public safety by providing opportunities for illegal purposes. Forged federal ID can be used for identity theft, to obtain access to workplace, and to other private places which are off limits to the general public. The Secretary of Homeland Security is so concerned about this that she authorized agents from the Department of Homeland Security to investigate fake federal IDs. And late in 2011, agents from Homeland Security received a tip that a man working in a bakery in the Sunset Park section of Brooklyn, known as Pancho, was supplying forged green cards and forged Social Security cards to undocumented persons who used these documents to obtain employment. The agents used a confidential informant, or a CI, to determine whether the tip about Pancho was accurate. The CI was able to make contact with Pancho at the bakery where he worked and identified him by his true name, Jose Mateo Castro. Castro agreed to provide the CI with a green card and a Social Security card, both forged, in return for $130 and passport photos. A few days later, after giving Castro the money and the photos, the CI received the counterfeit documents. According to the agents at Homeland Security, these documents look so authentic that an ordinary layperson could not detect them to be phony. In January of 2012, agents from Homeland Security and their CI began working with detective investigators from the Special Investigations Unit of my Rackets Division. Over several months, the CI purchased more fake IDs from Castro in the names of 6 different people. All of the counterfeit IDs were of high quality. The investigation continued with the goal of identifying Castro's supplier. The agents and my detective investigators conducted automobile and aerial surveillance via helicopters of Castro for several months. And finally, on August 14, 2012, the investigation bore fruit. The CI arranged to buy another fake ID and gave Castro money and photos inside of an envelope. The surveillance team observed Castro hand the envelope to a man later identified as Lionel Escamillo. Escamillo took the envelope to a building located at 367 49th Street in Brooklyn. Escamillo shortly exited the building with a bag which he gave to Castro, who in turn gave the contents, a new set of forged identifications, to the CI. In September of 2012, the CI again purchased fraudulent IDs from Castro using his connection with Escamillo. After determining that Escamillo lived at 367 49th Street, he was placed under arrest. My office then executed a search warrant at Escamillo's home and recovered items used to manufacture fake identifications, including blank Social Security cards, blank ID cards, laminates, a paper cutter, a computer, and a sophisticated printer, which incidentally can be purchased online for $1,300. And there's nothing we can do to stop that. There's no licensure involved. Everyone has an absolute right to get them. Hopefully by the action we take today, people understand they cannot use those printers for illicit purposes. Additional bogus identifications were recovered, including 3 fake New Jersey driver's licenses and the fire department's certificate of fitness. A forensic examination of the seized computer revealed that it was used to create the identifications purchased by the CI from Castro. Castro is also placed under arrest. It is important to understand that all of these fake identifications could be used for illicit purposes, but what is particularly troubling is the fire department certificate of fitness is a document which indicates that the possessor has completed all the necessary training and has passed all tests required to legally and competently repair boilers and may perform this hazardous work. A Kings County grand jury has returned indictments charging Jose Mateo Castro with 14 counts of criminal possession of a forged instrument in the 2nd degree. If he's convicted, he faces 7 years in prison and faces deportation. He is currently being held in lieu of bail of $50,000. Lionel Escamillo has also been indicted by a Kings County grand jury and charged with 13 counts of criminal possession of a forged instrument in the second degree and 13 counts of forgery in the second degree, as well as 6 counts of criminal possession of forgery devices. And if he's convicted, he faces 7 years in prison and deportation, and he's also being held in lieu of $100,000 bail. We intend to continue to work with the agents of the Department of Homeland Security to prevent these dangerous activities from continuing.
That's right.